Hey guys, welcome to DannyBTalks. I'm Danny B, and this has been a quiet year. Last year was quiet too, for that matter. I just haven't been called to make NASCAR videos as much as I have been since really the last few seasons. Morale's never really been lower about the future of the sport than it possibly is coming out of this weekend. You know, for what it's worth, Denny Hamlin's never been rude to me. Times I've been around him. As a fan, there have been probably moments where I might have been annoyed to see him win. Bristol 2019 was not a fan of his the night of Martinsville 2017 in the fall. But, you know, for the most part, I really wanted Denny Hamlin to win this championship. The sad reality, this system was set up better for a guy like Hamlin. And Hamlin has had opportunities, even in the chase system, to win a championship. 2010 comes to mind. But the inconsistencies with his team, mechanical failures that we would see, he would win a race and then he would have a bad race. I don't think Denny Hamlin has another chance to win a Cup Series championship if we are indeed going away from this format. And I want us to go away from this format so bad. But the fact of the matter is, I don't see his team staying consistent enough if we go to a format that rewards that consistency. Now, Kyle Larson would have won this year on consistency. Don't let that be confused. But in this format that NASCAR has gave us, where it comes down to the last race, Kyle Larson was about fourth of the four title contenders all race long, never led a single lap until he didn't even win the race. So, yeah, that just says it all. Ryan Blaney won this race. Don't let that get lost on us. Penske Racing is kicking themselves for not getting Blaney into the championship four. But Ryan Blaney wins the final race of the year. Kyle Larson wins the 2025 championship. Denny Hamlin was about 3 laps away from finally winning his first NASCAR Cup Series championship. And just as he has most of his career, something happened that prevents him from being a champion. And the sad part of it all is he is a great racer. He wins a lot of races, but his team also messes up. That if we do go away from this, and I hope we do, as I've said already, I just don't see them having what it takes to win a championship based on consistency. With that being said, other races happened this weekend. Connor Zilisch, the most consistent driver we saw all season in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, finished second in the owner's points and second in the driver's points, just because he finished third in the last race of the year. Corey Heim also had an equally dominating season in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, and he did win his championship. He did win the final race of the year. He won 12 races this season. And for that, I'm so glad that he did, but he also nearly lost it. They pitted for 4 tires on the last caution, and unlike Denny Hamlin, it did work for him. He managed to bring it up where it needed to be. A caution come out, resulting in him being in second. He went on to win the race. But in Denny Hamlin's case, his team cost him the championship by taking 4 tires. They couldn't get where they needed to be. Larson was well ahead. Kyle Larson is now a 2-time champion of NASCAR Cup Series. And granted, I know, if we were in a full season, Kyle Larson would have won that. But at the same time, they would have probably raced a little differently throughout the year. If we go to a system that is the old Winston format, where we do a full season of races, we don't need to have stage cautions. We don't need to have stage points even. Stage points are set up. Here's fact of the reality. They came in 2017. We went to this style of playoffs in 2014. Stages are set up to better reward more points throughout the year that ultimately just sets up for seedings in playoffs. That's how we rank them, basically. That's how we restack them every time that people are eliminated. If we go to something that is the 10 race chase, if we go to something that is all season long, we don't need to have stages. So drivers would ultimately race a little bit differently. The points may not be the same as they were this year if we're just going off of the race itself in 36 of those races. So I don't know what NASCAR is going to do. I do know one thing. If we just keep dragging this on and we let it go all off season, we just say, well, we didn't have enough time to come to a decision, I'm really scared we'll just keep what we've had. And if they do that, I have this channel, I have the NWP podcast. I'm going to pay attention to the races just because I have to. But it will feel like a chore, At this point, I'm tired of it. I know other fans are tired of it. We will lose a lot more fans if we don't go away from this. So I don't know what the end situation is for NASCAR. But I know one thing. I do wish Denny Hamlin had won this championship. This was, in my opinion, his last shot at it. So many emotions coming out of this weekend. There's a side of me that just wishes Hamlin would have been the last one to win in this format, and there's the other side of me that drastically wants to be rid of this stupid playoffs. It is stupid. It is. When I started DannyBTalks back in 2017, 2018, I was still young, in my early 20s, so open to the idea of something new for NASCAR. The stages, yeah, that'll be fun. Get more people excited about NASCAR. Maybe didn't used to. We've only seen it get worse. All right? See that big Tennessee helmet behind me? I've grown a bigger fan of college football this year. I hate to admit it. I even started Danny B. Vols, a second channel, to talk about my Tennessee Volunteers. Between this weekend of frustrations, seeing NASCAR come to the end that it did, and my Tennessee Vols losing to Oklahoma, this was a bad sports weekend for Mr. DannyBTalks here. I don't know what more to say. It's getting to be a chore to be a NASCAR fan. Was this it for Denny Hamlin? Possibly. But do I want to see him get a chance to be consistent enough? Absolutely. Do I think he can? I don't know. I don't personally see Denny Hamlin winning a championship. I think that was his last chance. I really do. We got a lot more to talk about on NWP this week. It's going to be on Eric Estep's channel, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time. I'll see you guys over there. Just such a weird feeling now the season's over. NBC didn't even show us Kyle Larson getting this championship trophy. Maybe we didn't need to. Just a bad taste in our mouth at the end of the year. I know Jeff Gluck does his polls at the end of every race. Was this a bad race? We need to ask ourselves, was this a bad season? I mean, what's the point anymore this year of what these races have become? It needs to matter more about how you do in a season. It needs to matter less about how you did in stages. I know what side I'm on. I want a back to roots system for NASCAR. I don't want the 3-3-4, whatever they're calling it. I don't want that idea either. Because that's just modified playoffs. That's all that is. I want it to matter if a driver did well at all the races again. As someone who has been watching this sport since I was a little kid, now I'm 30 years old, I want it all to matter again. I don't want it to be, some people like to joke and say, a race, you just turn on the last 50 laps and you've seen all you need to see. It feels like the season is that way now. And I'm tired of that. I'm tired of being able to, the quote that Kyle Larson didn't lead a single lap and he won a championship. I mean, that could happen in any system, so I don't need to get too upset about that. But that just paints the picture of what it just feels like as a NASCAR fan to watch NASCAR, what have we become? Someone makes a change here and there, and another person makes a change a few years later, and we make more changes. We had it. We had the formula back in the early 2000s. But we've just slowly let ourselves drift away. What NASCAR is today is definitely not what it used to be, but it very well could be. We could just go back to it, give the fans what they want, and maybe we'll take a boost in ratings. I don't know. Just hurts, man. I love the sport. It hurts me to always see that we're dropping in ratings. Cup races getting barely over 1 million viewers in the United States. It's just not the same. It's just not the same anymore. I'm ready for the new NASCAR game to come out on PC. I didn't get it for PlayStation 5. And when it does, maybe I can get myself to record it, have some fun, post more here on this channel, but I just haven't felt like talking about NASCAR that much this year. I hate to say that. I still love NASCAR, but I just haven't felt the energy in it. I know a lot of you guys haven't either, and I apologize for me letting that reflect on this channel. I want to be better about it, but I gotta have a better product that's worth me getting excited about. There are some races next year that I want to look at going to. Chicagoland sounds fun. San Diego sounds fun. But it's just got to matter again. That's all I got for now. Happy off season. Kyle Larson is your champion. Jesse Love is your Xfinity champion. And Corey Heim is your Truck Series champion. That's the 2025 NASCAR seasons. Until next time, I'm Danny B. God bless y'all. Hope you have a great day. And bye, guys.